Verse 17 is the practice. Verse 18 is the sign. It is a lakshana of one who has practiced. This is a famous verse. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva shwapakecha pandita samadarshinaha. Joy. First quarter. Vidya, knowledge. What is knowledge to cause? Vinaya, humility. Sampanna, one who's endowed, one who has these virtues of being knowledgeable and being humble. Shared in a different way, knowledge helps us to remember. Remember what? That we are not the doer. Humility is remembering you are not the doer. If you are the doer, you are a fraction of the parties involved in doing. One who's remembering they're not the doer, how do they relate to those who do think they're the doer? How do they relate to, I'm not even saying society or humanity, but I'm intentionally sharing the word creation. This is how they relate. With a brahmana, if you can try to see my hand as I move down, I'm moving down in terms of evolution. A brahmana is a teacher, one who studies and shares scripture. Lower than that, gavi, a cow. Lower than that, hastini, an elephant. Lower than that, shuni, a dog. As offended as you are for all of the dog owners, these are Shri Krishna's words, not mine. And below that, shwapaka. Technically, that means an outcast, but more expressively, it is a dog eater. The one who catches dogs on the street and eats them as their food. Let me give you some frameworks about why these beings are selected. A brahmana is an expression of sattva, filled with quietness. The cow, sattva raja, mostly quietness, some aggressiveness. The elephant, raja, filled with aggressiveness. The dog, rajatama, mostly aggressiveness, some laziness. I've been to many of your homes. Many dogs are filled with laziness. And then at the bottom, the one who eats dogs is filled with tama, laziness. The implication being here is dogs are very loving beings. To consume a loving being, that is a thoughtless act. Let me give you one more framework in terms of a visualization. A great thinker has shared. Sattva is like the Ganga. Below that, Sattva Raja is like the ocean. Below that, Raja is like a pool, like the pool in your backyard. Rajatama is like wine. It makes you aggressive and then it makes you lazy. And tama is like urine. With urine, we want it out of our body as soon as possible. For the one who remembers that they're not the doer, They're described as a pandita. The word pandita means the one who is full. Not full of theory, but full of application. We feel pundits are those who are full of theory, but I keep reminding you, artificial intelligence will make them, what do you call it when your job is not useful? Whatever that is, easily replaced. And that's why pandita means the one who's full of application. Artificial intelligence can't match that. Obsolete, thank you. Samadarshinaha. They see, they treat all types of these beings as the same. Their eyes see the difference between a Brahmana and a dog eater, but they have the vision that all are equal. Our initiative is called Efforts for Equality, a way that we can try to practice this, a relative way to try to give less importance to names and forms. Why I gave you that second visualization, they're all expressions of water. Urine, wine, pool, ocean, Ganga are all expressions of water. To be less emphatic about names and forms, now here's a more tactile way. In our class on Sunday, I had asked everyone to come up with the most effective way to live acceptingly, and I had shared my way that I try is to feel the creator in creation. I tried to feel the snow, the birds, you, Zoom, people who don't like me. I tried to feel the creator in them rather than them as creation. This helps me to be accepting so that I can raise myself to treating them equally. Chapter 5, verse 7, Yoga Yukta. The implication of this is every experience you have to ask yourself, what did I learn from this experience? Painful experiences, pleasant experiences. What did I learn? Verse 17, Tat Buddhaya. These are the first words of these verses. When one learns from every experience, eventually they learn they are joy. This learning is not about the context. This learning is about the content. Verse 18. I'm shifting from the first two words to the last two words. Shri Krishna shares, Samadarshina. Now here's a tough test for all of you. We have already explored the word darshina as one of our 70 important verses. What chapter, what verse ended with the word darshina? Narada Bhakti Sutra, we had our test. Tomorrow in Dialogue with Dharma, I'm going to announce our test. It is chapter 4, verse 34, where Shri Krishna shares Tattva Darshina. If you want to know that you are not the deserver, then you have to be active with those who do know they are not the deserver. Their vision is on the tattva, the foundation. Same thought shared in chapter 5. Their vision, since it's on the foundation, is sama, is balanced, is equal. towards all types of diversity. Shri Krishna shares a visual of beings, from a teacher to an eater. I gave you a visual on water, from Ganga to urine. The way for us to have this vision on the foundation of equality, this requires us to be a pandita. Most of us don't look like panditas. You think I look like a pandita? I'm about to exercise right now. The word pandita comes from panda. Panda typically means learning, wisdom. It is one who is full with themselves, one who is independent. Now extrapolate. What is the utility of this? One has nothing to gain, so one has nothing to lose. That is how one has this vision of balance, of equality. Trying to make this even more tactile, for our vision to be that the relative is relative. When we interact with the relative, we keep infusing it with it being more than the relative. Then we have likes and dislikes. We have love and hatred. But if the relative is relative, one is more foundational, one is more equal. I try to practice this with food. Yesterday, Sheila made aloo gobi, that's potatoes and cauliflower. And she put in a lot of work and she was very proud of it. And she asked me how it was. And because I've been married for 14 years, I shared, it was great. That's me seeing, but my vision is, this is energy. Cereal is energy. A pear is energy. Then think about how much more accepting one becomes of food, of water, of being.